Hello, hello, testing. Can you guys all hear me? Can I get a hello? Hello, hey, all right. Very good. Thank you guys all for coming. We will be starting the Robothon Grand Challenge 2022 Impact Round Table momentarily. So if you want, please take a seat and we'll get started very shortly. Ready? Okay. So, get all of our notes here. Here we go. Alrighty. So, welcome everyone. My name is Peter So. I will be moderating today's session on the Robothon Grand Challenge Impact Round Table. Let's go ahead and see a quick clip about what this is all about.
The Robothon is our vision to focus the robotics community and to showcase developments in robotic skill development. A part of Munich I, which is a new high-tech platform, an initiative by the Technical University of Munich, the Munich Institute for Robotics and Machine Intelligence, as well as the Automatica. It's a place and a platform for anyone and everyone to participate in cutting-edge robotics research. The aim of the competition is to bring together robot industry and robot researchers in order to benchmark increases in robot performance. We do this with our robot competition task boards that enable teams to participate and collaborate across multiple sites connected through our web dashboard. So teams should participate to join our growing community solving real-world problems. We're looking to create a critical mass of people working on physical real-world challenges defined by industry. This allows us to build real solutions that work in the real world. Join this because we really want to democratize making the lowest barrier of entry to participate in cutting-edge robotics. So, to participate in Robothon, you need two things. One, gather a team of 2 to 4 people and your own robot platform. And second, apply online to get one of our robot competition task boards. This competition task board has 5 different tasks for you to complete autonomously over a period of 4 weeks, after which we'll have our jury validate your result online. This opportunity to participate in Robothon allows you not only to participate in our community, but also be discovered through our great partnership with the Automatica trade show, which is the largest trade show in Europe. And also you have the opportunity to win cash prizes and meet future employers, as well as get your work discovered. The organizers felt e-waste is a pressing real-world challenge that is dull, dirty, and dangerous that people really don't want to do. But it has such an important impact on the economy in recovering precious minerals and materials that often go straight into landfill. So by having our teams focus in on their robots developing new skills for solving disassembly of electronic waste, we really think that we can make a big difference by participating in the event. After the end of the 4-week period, we expect the robots to complete all the tasks, both on their own, but also in front of our live jury. This is really trying to interpret not just the silly problems on the task board, but to really transfer that learning and apply it in the real world. This is what we're really looking for. So please show us what you got.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks for entertaining me on the screen, but I'm here in front of you and very excited to be here. So I'm also joined on this stage by a very, very great cast. To my right, we have Professor Dr. Patrick van der Smagt. He's the Director of AI Research at Volkswagen. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. To my left, we have our very own MERMI Chief of Science, Dr. Utke Chulha.
Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you. And then also, if you recognize the booth over there, we have our director, Professor Dr. Alin Albu-Schäffer of the DLR, Robotics and Mechatronics Group. Thank you for joining us. So I know you just saw what we are all about on the screen, but I'm here to tell you that this has been a very fun event over the last 2 years that I've been able to be a part of. The Robothon Grand Challenge series. And what we're trying to do is establish a benchmark and also a way to demonstrate to you all the state-of-the-art robotics research that's going on around the world. And so we started out in 2021 with single-arm manipulation. And this year, we go to the second phase, where we look at advanced manipulation of real-world objects. And so essentially, We want to spend this amount of time with you to the next 25 minutes to talk about what the impact is from all the contributions. Just a really quick shout out. We have some of the teams here. Can you just wave your hand if you're a team member that participated? Awesome. Give them a round of applause. Thank you guys for being here. They traveled from all parts of the world here. And so I would like to first open up with just talking about the task board itself. So we have produced at the MERMI one of these task boards, which is a simple ABS box with a bunch of components that you might recognize. Essentially, they were inspired by walking through an e-waste facility and seeing the different things that you might encounter on the job. So you have this little microcontroller that is actually monitoring the state of all these tasks and being able to relay this information that's being collected, the state, also the telemetry of how often it's being used by all our participants. So if you applied online, you receive one of these task boards mailed to your lab, and then we have you participate by teaching your own robot to do completely autonomously 6 different tasks. Pushing a button, inserting and turning a key, moving a plug, taking out some batteries. This is a very important task in e-waste, which I would like to actually talk about now. So, we have this big problem with e-waste, but it's also a great opportunity, and I would like to invite Professor van der Smagt to tell us a little bit about why is e-waste such a big problem, and specifically how can robotics play a role in being part of the solution.
Thank you, Peter. So I read an article recently, and it said that in the order of 1 billion ear pods are around on this planet, not in use anymore, right? With 1 billion batteries. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. We know that the e-waste is a problem everywhere. And as long as harvesting that is not economically viable, I don't see much of hope that this problem is going to be solved. As you said in the beginning, it's not interesting, it's boring work, it's dangerous work, but I think it's also just not economically viable to get all of the materials out there which we can either reuse or at least dispose of in a good way. So I think robotics is the only solution there that we have currently to deal with that, and I'm very, very happy that you are focusing on this problem and this challenge, and grateful for being in a jury.
Happy to have you. Yeah, so I think one thing you might know already, a lot of e-waste is being processed. However, one of the last major steps is battery removal, because it is exactly what he said, dull, dirty, and even at times dangerous with voltage in line. So I want to share another video of some of the compilation of the team's work over the last 4 weeks, back in April, I believe. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see what they put together for us. applause for the teams. Great, so I want to ask some questions to our great members here. Dr. Chulha, what was your favorite and why?
Well, I think I'm going to be political here because it's still a competition. I believe I like the compilation a lot because it really shows us that there's a lot of problems, but we can turn this into a lot of opportunities. All this different wide range of items that the people have brought in by themselves already shows us that robotics is actually a great way of solving these problems and turning them into opportunities. So I would say the wide range is my favorite.
Professor Albu-Schäffer, how about you? What was your favorite and why?
Oh, so actually, I like most those who are very flexible and reactive, so which use cameras and planning and were able to use the same programs with automatic adaptation to remove different batteries and so on. So of course, today we can teach everything, but we are beyond that, and some teams have shown this skill and expertise. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I totally agree. I think one thing that can be understated is that we have this competition focused on this task board, but really this is just a model of the real world problem. And what we really liked from the teams is when you demonstrated that whatever you taught your robot on this platform was immediately transferable to your real world device. So that was actually very cool to see. I think this is actually one of your ideas, so thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I just want to point out again, e-waste is a big problem, and a part of the competition is bringing awareness to this. So if you aren't already, make sure you're working with your local facilities to make sure that you're properly handling e-waste devices. As you can see from this chart from the World Economic Forum, about 80% of this stuff is not actually known where it's going. So even with the 20% that we do have, we still have this big problem of actually extracting batteries and doing proper recovery of those things in the circular economy. And so we have a long way to go, but this is a great start, and I'm very excited to do it all with you guys. So a little bit about us. So the Robothon competition and our vision, we have 3 main goals. The first of that is to develop reusable robotic skills that are comparable to human performance. And we do this through our competition and with all of your help. Crowdsource, right? Second, we want to build a community for roboticists to get together, to exchange ideas, and to share best practices. So I really hope you guys take advantage of the chance to get together today and the rest of this week to really do that. And then third, we want to create a quantitative measure for actually demonstrating robotic performance, because this is one thing that's missing when we do our experiments. We have lots and lots of demos, as you'll see on the floor today, but trying to say which one is quantitatively better is always a little bit of an effort. And so we try to make a platform through this task board which provides an IoT back end for us to do quantitative analysis on times and also a vibration analysis on which performances are best and how we can actually measure the performance against a human. And ultimately, we want to be here to be a part of the AI industrial revolution and create an AI factory of the circular economy together. So we have here a little detail of the community that we have built. You guys are, let's see our laser here, the community here. This is all of you guys. It's quite small, but it's very important. And so what you're doing is you're generating your own ideas. You're bringing your own algorithms and your own hardware together. And we have the ability to, with our device, actually compare the results in the cloud. And then we print out on our website a real-time dashboard that is able to generate a scoreboard. And this is going on throughout the year. So not only during this competition, as you go out and you're thinking about problems and new algorithms, we encourage you to use the task board and really try to show the improvements over time. And so this is what we hope to do. So we welcome you to join our community on our website there. This year we had 27 applications. 20 teams were selected. Each team had up to 4 people. It's 80 developers. We had 20 robot platforms from all over the world. We had 13 countries involved, all in our one challenge. And so happy to have all of you guys here. This has been a very small idea, and it's really grown into what you see today. So we actually have one of the biggest stage booths here in B4, so thank you for that, all the administrators here. Oh, excuse me, I have more things I need to say before we get to this. So, forgive me. Professor Albu-Schäffer, as a researcher, what advice would you give to the teams who are participating in this event? How can they make their work impactful? How can they transfer what they do in a competition and actually contribute to the literature?
Oh, so first of all, it's great to have the benchmark, right? And to have different teams being really comparable on with clear scores, and that's one point. On the other side, we have seen that transferring, depends on the level of flexibility you get, and we have seen already this year that they were able to transfer their results to other setups, which with very small modifications we have seen during the competition. And I imagine that this could develop into a business one day. I mean, all these robots you see in this hall, they started as small research projects. We at DLR have been, starting this lightweight robot technology about 20 years ago, and you see plenty of companies. So I can imagine you could have, in a few years from now, your own company doing e-waste removal based on this technology. Right. So I recommend going on the long term and not. We have seen some teams trying to teach the old style of robotics, every position and so on. And the winners are those who have the flexibility, because you will be able to extend to other application areas. So I'm looking forward to see you in a few years here at Automatica with your own startup booth.
Great. I think that's a good segue to Professor van der Smagt. As a person of industry, what advice would you give to our teams to actually realize the work that they're doing in their academic research labs and actually bring it to the market and as a real-world company?
Well, I think Alin already said it all, right? You need a flexible system. That's the most important thing. And then bring it to market. I wouldn't go corporate.
Okay.
That's one thing I wouldn't do, because you need your flexibility, you need your time, 2 years, to make this into a viable product, something that is stable and that gives 99.99 whatever % of accuracy, rather than the 90-something that we see nowadays, because it has to work in each and every situation. So you showed it in your slides a few slides back, right? 80% of e-waste is not being recycled, so there is a huge market there. Rule of thumb, right? You need 5 billion industry in order to be able to make it into a successful company. That's certainly there for e-waste. It's even there for normal waste sorting, because there is a big job to be done there as well. So I think making a startup here is one of the most rewarding paths to success. And I think there is nothing that can stop one or more of these teams from doing that.
Great. So please take this advice. Yeah, I think we expect big things of our winning teams, which we will hear about later today. Dr. Chulhab, excuse me. How would you tell us a little bit about the work that's going on at MERMI, specifically the ReconCycle project?
Mm-hmm. Well, Peter, we are, as the Institute of Robotics and Machine Intelligence of Technical University of Munich, we are actually basing all of our research on human-centered robotics. This extends out to this type of work here, because it also demands to be responsible for what we produce. And we have seen, of course, the production part, but then now we are talking about the recycling part, which is very important, right? And this is actually what we are trying to achieve here with the community, is to really address that. And ReconCycle is one of our projects sponsored by the European Union, which is well aware of this issue and well aware of this opportunity at the same time. And this project is as a combination of industry and research partners. The idea, ReconCycle, is a combination of reconfigurable systems that can adapt, like Professor Albu-Schäffer said, reconfigurable to the systems that need some adaptivity on the robotics part, but also addressing the recycling challenge. So ReconCycle is going on since the beginning of 2020, and it's going to go on to 2023. And as you can see, there's the big momentum and synergy here. It's not going to be just by an isolated project by themselves. It will be interacted with the other projects like we do here, and with all of our following projects. I think that really starts the momentum of this reconfigurable robotics on recycling challenges.
I totally agree.
Yep.
The future is reconfigurable.
Exactly.
Great. And I think that brings me back to Professor Albu-Schäffer. How would you say, if you take the Robothon as a proof of concept, how has collaboration across the globe really changed from your perspective?
Yeah, so Actually, this collaboration, if I remember correctly, began from a workshop on an international conference where people got together and get this idea, and so it was already a collaborative idea. And now you have the chance to really involve also small teams from maybe smaller universities which do not have the entire infrastructure to quickly participate to that. And actually, we took over this idea in a new European project which we had. We jointly apply, I see so many dear friends here, we jointly apply for a network of excellence of robotics and AI in Europe, and we have, the main idea is there not only to compete, but to also transfer results, right, to get better all together, right? And we have 3 work packages on applications, and one is led by Technical University of Munich. So at DLR, we are the coordinator. TUM, Sami and Utku are coordinating the work package on industrial manipulation. And there we took over this box, and we would like to involve up to 40 European partners. So those who are not involved yet, there are a few. I see Wolfram here. He came back to Europe from US, so he needs to join as well our network. All others are here, Bruno and Patrick and Georg, so Tamim Asfor. So, all top scientists in Europe in robotics are part of this network. And we will have this box and even try to go one step farther, go to human-robot cooperation, extend the complexity. And the new thing in Europe is that we would like to award not only being fast on solving the task, but also helping the others. So we will have a repository if you are willing to provide open source and upload your planner, your vision module. You can upload it and you will get points, and those who use your module will be also rewarded. And I hope that then we could even advance even faster than now. But I think the main idea came from this Robothon, and we have some other application, outdoors and humanoid robotics. But it's a great idea with huge potential.
Great. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. So I want to take the last few minutes. Do we have any last comments from from our members here? No?
I'm looking forward to seeing the winning team.
That's exactly it.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I think one thing, we have a few minutes here just to let everyone know. This is the first part of our program today. Just in a few moments here at 1:30 on this stage, we will have the award ceremony for the Robothon Grand Challenge 2022, where we will crown the winners over this past year. So with this, if you're a team, just please stand up so everyone can recognize who you are.
Yeah. So I would like to also congratulate, they've done really, really great job.
Exactly. Thank you, guys.
And maybe one thing I could add, winning or losing, it doesn't matter, but you should all be proud of yourself because you're actually contributing to a big momentum European-wide. You can see where this idea comes from and then where it leads to, right? So you will always be a part of this. So we thank you very much for all your great contribution and ideas that you bring into this big move.
Great. Thank you. I think with this, we'll conclude this section of our program, and we invite you guys to come back again at 1:30 right here for the Robothon Award Ceremony. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.